want to set a couple things straight before I continue the video, because I think I know what I'm going to title it, but I'm not sure quite yet. To start, I'm going to be talking about like my own thoughts, own experience, not in general. So nothing I say can be applied to anybody else unless you relate to it, which I mean, I'm posting this on my channel, the Juni's Layer one, which I don't expect it to get attention because that's just where I'm posting thoughts and stuff. I decided. What I want to talk about is being a trans woman and why that's kind of scary to me. So to start, if it wasn't already clear before, I'm talking about my own experience. So I'm saying being a trans woman is scary to me. I'm not saying being a trans guy is not scary either, because for all I know, it is, because being trans out there in the world now is very scary. There's all these stuff being said about you on the news saying, oh, trans people are creeps, they're pedophiles. And I don't know, but mainly, now that I bring up that point, is that it's that fear of being seen in such a weird light because of the way the media and everybody portrays you, you know? And because of that, I feel like if I continue my transition, I'm gonna be portrayed in such a bad light, like in such a weird way, that gets categorized with all the other creeps that are actually bad people. And that scares me, because I'm doing this because it makes me feel like I'm me. I couldn't figure out another word, sorry. But I'm doing this because it feels right to me. It feels right, but it's also scary because, well, society sees it weird. And as much as I don't care on how society sees me, like if I'm a weirdo or not, there's also still that generalization that trans people and trans women, I've seen more on the news, are weirdos and stuff, you know? Another thing that I'm scared of is actually transitioning in itself. I'm not saying like it's scaring me to the point of, oh, I want to back out, I don't want to do this anymore, because I do, I want to go through with this. However, it's the part that scares me that has to do with relationships afterward. Because right now I'm doing vocal training. I'm on like my 4th day, so there's not many noticeable changes. However, I want to note that like when there is progress and noticeable changes in my voice, and even by then changes in like style, how I present myself, it's gonna be a lot more feminine. So what scares me about like going more into transitioning is friends and relationships afterwards. Cause friends, it's very scary, cause they could be very like, I have very accepting, open friends, very accepting and very caring friends. It scares me, like I'm overthinking, you know? I'm overthinking that what if when I transition, it's gonna suddenly be no, we don't mess with this anymore. It's we don't want to like hang out with you. We don't, you know? Well, that's like one of the reasons why I put vocal training and like doing more like feminine stuff, like styling myself to present myself in a certain manner, like more feminine. That's why I've put it off for so long, because I've always been so scared of like, what if my friends just they disappear afterwards? It's scary. I'm scared. It's scary, but I'm doing it regardless, cause I have faith. I have hope that they won't like do all that weird stuff, saying no, we don't mess with this. And in the event that they do, I'm prepared, cause life happens. It's scary. I'm scared of that, cause as as much as I love my friends, I can't help but overthink still. Like, what if that happens? And while I know they wouldn't do something like that, that thought in the back of my head is still there. It's scary. Another thing is relationships with my parents. I want to come out to them this year, which is a long time coming. I've been trans since my sophomore year of high school, and I'm turning 19 in a month. Well, less than a month now because it's on the 3rd of March, and it's February 4th right now. So I wanted to tell them because it's been like 3 years now, and I feel like my relationship with them will tarnish a little bit or like get really affected. Like I've had thoughts this year alone saying, "Oh, don't do it. They're gonna react a certain way. So don't do it." Don't mind the paper right there. That's big old sheet of paper, blank. It's supposed to be for an assignment due on in 6 days. I really need to work on that. But yeah, it's like I'm scared of how they're gonna react because I've had a trans partner before. He was a bigger part of my life. 2 years it went on for, and I don't know if my parents. I got the general idea that they weren't like very like keen on the idea of somebody being trans. They're like, yeah, no, we don't necessarily support or believe in that stuff. So that's like been pushing me away from coming out. But I want to do it because I'm proud of being trans. I want to show the world that this is me. I'm transgender. And I even have a little sticker that I got yesterday. Actually, it says, "Oh, it's backwards." Oh, it says always proud. It's not like it's scary. Like friendships, relationships. I'm scared. I'm very scared of like the outcome they'll have like once I get into transitioning. But I know that regardless of what happens, it's gonna be okay because I'm doing it for myself to be happy in my own body, happy with myself. However, I'm a big overthinker, so it's like I can't help but like overthink. Because I guess it's like transitioning is also it's scary in general. Even if you don't have all those concerns or fears that I mentioned earlier, maybe all these fears that I'm saying are really common. I think they are because coming out to my friends was scary enough. I can only imagine my parents. So, and also transitioning and being seen in like a weird light by like the public, the media, whatever, since there's already like a bad taste in people's mouth of trans people because of the media. So it's like transitioning is more scary to me and probably many others because of that. The thing about transitioning that I'm scared of is it's probably like stupid, but it's like that small little thought in the back of my head saying like, "Are you doing this wrong?" Like, there's no. I don't think there's a specific wrong way to transition. Also, I want to point out maybe I'm wrong, but I think transitioning from female to male is easier than transitioning from male to female. Because what I'm doing is I'm a transgender woman, so I'd be transitioning from male to female. The reason why that would be harder is, well, for female to male transitions, I want to say that testosterone does a lot of work on their bodies and voice alone. It shapes them, or like fat redistribution, facial hair starts to grow. I really envy that, and it's like maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like the process is more complex or longer for trans women. Like that's why I put out vocal training for so long, cause I did it for like a day or two, like a couple years ago. Every so often, like every couple months, I was doing it for a day or two, but I just didn't continue because it was just like I'm not seeing results. My voice has been something I've always been bothered about, no matter even since before I came out as trans. So like coming out as trans, I was finally like, okay, this is why I hate like my voice. This is why I don't like it. This is why I don't like my deeper voice, and why I prefer to speak in a softer tone, because I align myself more with being a female. I identify as a woman. That's why I feel this way about my voice. So I was happy when I came to that realization when I came out as trans to my friends, even teachers. You know, I still have to come out to teachers. It's still kind of scary every now and then. But even when I came to that conclusion or realization, and I was happy about it, I still put off vocal training for so long, and I just settled with the voice I was uncomfortable with. So I guess like the main factor that to take away from like the past few points that I've mentioned is that I'm scared of the time it'll take. I'm not scared of if I'm wasting time. I'm scared of the amount of time going into it because while I don't have commitment issues, I have always been a very impatient person. And I'm scared that I'll make progress, get impatient, stop, resetting all my progress, having to do it again, stopping again because I get demotivated, going again, keep going back and forth, you know? And it's scary. It's really scary because I'm putting the hat back on. It's scary. It's like scary. It's like to me that terrifies me that I'm gonna make good progress. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna fall back because I got impatient or got unmotivated. So like a main takeaway from what I'm scared of is once I'm a version of myself that I'm more comfortable with, so fully transitioning, will people still like me? I don't know. I'm very scared of that. I'll hate myself for a bit because I'll be like, oh, they don't like me because I'm more comfortable in myself. So I'll have to conform back to what they're used to. But that scares me. That scares me. Will people still like me? I'm sure close friends and select family members will still like me. I'm not sure about all my family. If all my family still likes me, that's amazing. And another thing is, what if I get unmotivated and I still want to like do it? Because I know some people just they're fine by saying, "Oh yeah, I identify as a woman, just refer to these pronouns and such." And they don't care if they're passing or not. I care. It's been like a big thing for me. Like what if I get unmotivated and I have to restart? So I'll be at a constant cycle of not making progress. So that I think that leads to another thing, not making progress. If I'm doing it right, because I know there's no like definitive way. There's vocal training, there's voice surgeries, but that still requires vocal training a little bit after. I know that there's face feminization surgery. There's all these options, so there's no definitive way to like transition into a version of yourself that you're more comfortable with. And I guess the fourth thing would be the time that I mentioned earlier, that I'm scared of like the repetition, that I'm gonna have to be like, oh, I'm not like oh, I'm comfortable, but suddenly I'm demotivated and I'm not making progress. But then I get progress again because I'm motivated, but then I lose all that progress because I get demotivated, and it's very scary to me. Cause while I don't hate myself for being trans, I love that. Cause like I said, always proud. But while I don't hate myself for that, what if all those things combined, like people don't like me anymore afterwards, my family, my friends, even if some people stick with by my side saying, "Oh yeah, despite that people left, we're still here with you." Even if some people do leave, which I know is gonna happen regardless, even if that takes a long time, like after much repetition, I still get to like that end point. After all that time, after making the decisions that make me happy, like if I choose to get surgery for my face, my voice, which I don't plan for my face, maybe my nose, but that's about it. Who knows? All decisions are subject to change. But yeah, all those things combined. What if I hate myself for, say, not doing it sooner? Like, I wish I hadn't spent so much time waiting. I wish maybe some people didn't leave. It's my fault that they left. I, I think it's very scary. I'm very scared. But you know what? I think a takeaway I can have from this is that I'm still pushing forward because I think it's for the greater good of myself and my overall mental health and happiness. Which happiness is something I've struggled with for a long time. Happiness has always been one of those things that it's like I can get happy in the moment, but in terms of happy with my life, it's just like I don't know if I could say I'm happy with my life. That type of thing. So yeah, I know I'm doing it just to be happier with myself, my mental health, clarity, better, just better in general. So I know this is for a good cause. I hope none of this comes off in a way that says, "Oh, other people can't be scared of this," or "I'm the only one that feels this way." Because no, I know other people feel that way too. I just thought I would share this or put this out there to clear it from my mind. And I'm scared, but I'm doing this because it's better for me. And I probably did get a couple things wrong, like saying, oh, trans men probably have it easier for them, like transitioning, like with hormone treatment, and maybe that's true to an extent, but I know that they still have a lot of issues to go through, not just with transitioning, but also with like society in general. But yeah, that's what that's. I hope none of this like came off like in a bad way because I did not. I have no ill intentions. I mean no harm by what I'm saying. So I hope that all of this comes out. So I hope that everything is heard with that in mind. With the fact in mind that I'm just saying what I'm scared of and like the possibilities that could happen in the future that I'm scared of. Yeah, but yeah, that's about it. Um, I'll edit this down to cut off my stuttering, repetition, and that's it. That's it.